Hey everyone, welcome back for another deep dive. Now, I'll be honest, this isn't our usual studio setup. I'm actually coming to you live from CommundaCon in New York City. And let me tell you, the energy here is electric. Imagine a venue buzzing with process automation enthusiasts, that cool industrial vibe, and even a giant CommundaCon billboard lighting up Times Square. It's quite a scene. And speaking of energy, I couldn't think of a better person to have on than someone who's not just attending, but actually presenting a workshop here at the conference. You might remember them from our last deep dive. How should I put this? Let's just say they had some strong opinions about connectors and process automation. Welcome back.
It's great to be back.
Yeah. Listeners, last time, expert speaker really got us thinking about relying solely on out-of-the-box connectors. We talked about things like inflexible dependencies and model instability, so it's a real eye-opener. But no worries. They're back to guide us toward a better approach, and they've even built something really cool to demonstrate it. But first, let's take a little trip down memory lane. Expert speaker, you actually analyzed your own experience booking your trip to CommundaCon, and then you turned it into a whole BPMN model. What made you decide to do that, and what kind of insights did you gain about process modeling from the experience?
Well, it all started when it was actually more illuminating than I thought it would be, really. Like, I realized, even with all the best practices, that we talk about, it's easy to overlook things when you're so focused on just one perspective.
Yeah.
Modeling my own customer journey forced me to think about it from the travel agency side, too. And that helped me create a more comprehensive and realistic model, I think.
So you had to step out of your process modeling expert shoes and into the customer's shoes for a bit. That's really interesting. Did this experience highlight any specific areas for improvement, either in your model or just in the way we approach process modeling in general?
Definitely. Take the post-booking steps, for example. At first, my model was really focused on the back and forth of choosing flights and all that, getting the booking secured. It's easy to forget about payment processing and invoices and even confirmations emails, all those little details that can actually cause a lot of friction for the customer if they're not there.
Right, because a happy customer journey doesn't just end when you hit book. It's about the whole experience.
Exactly. And modeling my own experience really drove that home for me. That's actually what got me thinking more critically about connectors and how important they are for bridging those gaps between systems and processes.
Okay, I definitely see where you're going with this. But before we get too deep into connectors, I'm curious, how did you evaluate the effectiveness of your model overall? We always talk about lessability, correctness, automation potential. How did your travel booking model measure up?
Well, for lessability, I'd probably give it like a 7. It gets the core process flow across, but it could be streamlined a bit.
Correct.
And then correctness, maybe another 7 there too. It captures the main interactions accurately, but it's missing some of the depth of those post-booking steps we talked about.
So there's always room for improvement.
Absolutely.
What about automation potential?
Well, that one's interesting. The agency side definitely has a lot of potential for automation. Things like automating flight searches, generating quotes, even integrating with external systems for a really smooth workflow. But the customer journey, while you can automate some parts of it, it still relies on human decisions.
So it sounds like high automation potential on one side,
Yeah.
but more limited on the other. What about ROI and reusability?
Okay, so from an ROI perspective, automating those agency-side tasks could save a lot of money and boost efficiency, leading to a higher ROI overall, which is always good. As for reusability, the core structure of the model, with the whole request, review, approval, exception handling flow, that's adaptable to other industries and situations for sure.
That makes sense. So your travel booking experiment wasn't just about making it to CommundaCon after all. It became a whole case study for process optimization.
It really did. And it also showed me how traditional integration methods, especially using those out-of-the-box connectors, well, they can fall short.
Okay, so let's talk about that then. You've been pretty vocal about how connectors are often misused. What made you decide to build your own, and how does it address those issues you've seen with out-of-the-box solutions?
Well, it's about shifting our mindset a bit. Instead of focusing on the technology first, like connecting to a specific tool, we should be thinking about the business capability we need.
Okay, I'm following.
So in this case, the capability is customer notifications, right? Instead of having separate connectors for every channel, like Twilio for SMS or SendGrid for email, my connector focuses on that core capability.
So it's like a universal adapter for customer notifications.
Exactly. If you need to send an SMS, no problem. Want to switch to email? Easy. It's all about flexibility and adaptability. Like if we decided to ditch Twilio and use a different provider, we just swap out the underlying adapter.
You don't have to rebuild the whole process model.
Exactly.
That's amazing. It's
Yeah,
like you've
well,
cracked the code for future-proof automation.
well, that's the goal anyway.
And you're going to be showing this off at your workshop here at CommundaCon, right?
That's right.
What can attendees expect?
So we'll be diving deep into some interesting concepts. Domain-driven design, hexagonal architecture.
Oh, those sound intimidating.
Uh-huh. They might sound a bit complex at first, but I promise to break them down and make them accessible.
Okay, good to know.
The main takeaway is that we're using these principles to build connectors that are reusable and adaptable. And I'll be showing practical examples using the customer notification connector.
So attendees will walk away with some real, actionable insights.
Absolutely.
That sounds fantastic. Listeners, if those terms sounded a little scary, don't worry. The key point is that we're talking about making systems that can change and adapt easily, which is super important in today's tech world where everything's always changing. Expert speaker, this has been incredibly insightful. As we wrap up, what's the one thing you want our listeners to take away from our deep dive today?
That's a good question. I think the biggest thing is to think about how you can apply these ideas of flexible design in your own work.
That's a good one.
It doesn't matter if it's business processes, software development, or anything else.
Right.
Focus on the capabilities you need, not just the technology you're using at this exact moment.
That's such an important point. Expert speaker, thank you so much for this incredible deep dive into the world of connectors. And straight from the excitement of CommundaCon, no less. Listeners, don't forget to check out our show notes. We'll have links to expert speakers' work, maybe a sneak peek at that CommundaCon billboard, and who knows, maybe even a discount for their workshop. Until next time, keep those process automation engines running smoothly.